This video discusses the text elements that are purely semantic. And as we have already done the strong and M tags, let's begin with the next semantic element, that is block quote. This element is used whenever there is a famous saying or quotation by someone that you reference in your website. The element is used primarily for longer quotations that may potentially take an entire paragraph. The quotation is enclosed inside the block quote element. The block quote element has a site attribute. The value of this attribute is the web address where the quotation is originally found. Inside the browser, the text inside block quote is indented by default. But we should not use the block quote element just for indenting the text. Here is an example. The quotation is enclosed inside the P element and when seen in the browser is not shown as indented. Let's enclose the same quotation inside the block quote element. Opening and closing block quote. And let's do a quick copy and paste. Save it and reload into the browser. And we can see that the quotation is now indented. There is another element specifically for quotations, although for smaller ones, and that is the Q element. When we use the Q element, the text inside the quotation marks is surrounded by the inverted commas. Let's enclose the same quotation inside the Q element. Save it and reload. Now we see that the quotation is inside quotation marks and is no more indented. In earlier versions of Internet Explorer, the quotation marks were not shown, but now they do. One other major difference between block quote and Q is that block quote begins on a new line because it's a block level element, whereas the Q element does not begin on a new line because it's an inline level element. The next one is the abbreviation tag. It is wrapped around abbreviations, acronyms, and when we hover our mouse over the acronym, we see the spelled version of the acronym in the title bar. Let's code an example. Wrap the word IBM inside the abbreviation element and inside the opening abbreviation element, it has an attribute called title, and inside the title attribute, we enter the spelled version of IBM. Save it and load it into the browser. And we see that when we hover our mouse over the acronym, we are shown in the title bar what IBM stands for. Alright. The next element is the cite element. If we want to represent a reference to a creative work, or we cite the name of a well-known author, details of which are originally found on some other website, we should cite that information inside the aptly named cite element. Here is an example. Since Einstein is a well-known author, we'll wrap his name inside the cite element. Next, the definition element. When we are defining something, the word or the concept that is being explained should be wrapped inside the definition tag. For example, here is the JavaScript definition, and we have enclosed the word being defined inside the definition tag. Next, the address element. As we discussed earlier, the address element contains the contact details. It can contain a physical address, but it does not have to. For example, it may also contain a phone number or an email address. The insert element is used to show content that has been inserted, and the delete element can show the text that is no longer relevant and therefore deleted from the document. Let's edit our mistake, as we know that Cause was a great mathematician and not musician. Wrap the word musician inside the delete tag and write in the word mathematician and wrap it inside the insert tag, save it and load into the browser, we see that the text no longer relevant has a strike through line and the inserted text is being shown as underlined. You might ask, if certain text is outdated or not relevant anymore, then what is the need of still keeping it inside the document? The answer is, those who have already taken information from the document may later refer to the document and find out that the earlier information had a few mistakes and that the document is now updated. If we just update our document without indicating the updates or mistakes, our users might feel spooky about the text that keeps changing automatically. And that's it for now. We'll do the remaining text elements in HTML Part 3. Thanks for watching.